Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's Michael Day here at the commentary box. We're back at the Players Pool and Snooker Lounge for Event 3 of the Supreme Pool Series. It's the Supreme Masters, and we're back on the winner's side. And what a match this is. We put a vote out on social media on who you wanted to watch on the mainstream table. And the people have spoken, and the people wanted to watch the People's Champion, Mick Hill, against Ireland's Karl Donoghue. So this should be an absolutely fantastic match. It's black ball rules. We are, like I say, because we're back on the winner's side, it's first to 11, so it's a really good test of the players' sort of match play acumen, but there's no sort of doubt about the acumen of both of these players. They're both exceptional players in their own right, and Mick Hill is the tournament favourite. He went for the most in the Calcutta. He's the 5 times reigning world champion. So Karl won lag, and it was his break. He's broken me. He has made a ball off the break. So both of these players are obviously two of the sort of standout players, two of the fancy players in the event. They both won their opening 2 rounds yesterday. They've actually had the first part of the day off, and they've returned for this. Obviously, Mick does start as favourite, but we know how capable and classy Karl Donoghue is, so this is going to be a really intriguing encounter between 2 players who are more than capable of taking the title come Sunday evening. And as I say, the winner on Sunday evening will walk off with £13,000, which comes out of the prize pot just under £30,000. It's the Supreme Series' biggest event so far of the year. It's in fact the most lucrative event in the English pool, in the English 8-ball world this season. So high stakes coming up over the next day and a half at the Players Pool and Snooker Lounge. We've got a nice crowd building up as well in the arena. This is a match quite a lot of people want to see. It's not the most straightforward of starts here for Karl. There's a few issues. Thought there was some value in going for the double. Unfortunately, didn't get it, so we get to see Mick Hill for the first time on the table. We did see Mick Hill yesterday afternoon. His opening game was on the stream. He played Mark Asprey, and it was very visually apparent that Mick had a neck injury. He was grimacing a few times, and he was struggling to sort of get down on his shot. He sort of alluded to this sort of in the interview with Lee Kendall afterwards, that he injured his neck. So in fact, he was actually thinking about pulling out from the event, which would have been a tremendous shame. But as I say, he comfortably got past Mark Asprey, and then he defeated, I think it was Brian Halcrow, perhaps. So Mick's still in. Like I say, he is the pre-tournament favourite, arguably the greatest English 8-ball player ever. So it's fantastic to see that he didn't pull out and he's still in action. We are across a number of different platforms. It's Beer Productions here bringing you the coverage of the Supreme Pool Series this year. Our YouTube channel is streaming 4 tables at the same time. Next door we have another arena where there's 15 tables, a lot of action going on in there. What we also do during the matches, keep you sort of updated of the scores of them. But if you want to find out the results or the latest scores, you just head over to Q Score karl.com, or there's a link as well underneath our scoreboard with the address that you can visit to see the scores. You might have been a little bit unlucky there, Karl. It was a good idea to get right into that cluster, but you can certainly get to the potting angle of the red into what would be sort of the yellow pocket of the snooker table, but it's extremely tricky with the way he'd be queuing. Yeah, it was a big ask to pot that. It was very tricky, and he's basically passed the frame over to Mick here. So as I say, there's a slight difference to the structure of this event, as per the two previous events on this year's Supreme Pool Series. 16 players will actually make it through to the single elimination portion of the tournament, where everybody would be on a payday. So that means 8 will come through from the winners section, so basically they'll be undefeated, and 8 will come through from the losers section. So what all that means for these two players, because they've won the first 2 games, they need to win another 2 games in the winners section to go through, to progress to the last 16. But of course, if they lose either this match or the next match, they go on to the losers section, so that they still have both lives intact. Whereas matches you watched sort of earlier today on the stream, they've been all sort of losers matches, so losers are eliminated completely from the competition. So anyways, as possibly expected, Mick's worked his way through these balls, and he's got the simplest of yellows and simplest of blacks, and he's going to open up his account and go 1-0 up. So we've got some fantastic matches going on around the arena. We'll just quickly have a look at some of the score lines in the arena next door. Mick Hill is 6-all with Jordan Church currently. Craig Marsh is 5-2 up on Darren Appleton. Dave Fernandez and Jordan Shepherd are locked at 2 frames all. Mike King is 2-1 up on Mark Farnsworth. Jake Dylan Newlove is 4-0 up on Karl Morris, so Jake's made a fast start there. Sean Chipper, talking about fast starts, we've got Sean Chipperfield and Darren Vicker. That's going to be a rapid fire match, and they've wasted no time. It's actually 8 frames already been played, and Sean is 5-3 up on Darren. Josh Kane is 5-2 up on Ian Alley, and Neil Raybone is 4-0 up on Cameron Dunlop. Richard Toomey 6-4 up on Drew Hughes. Craig Lakin is motoring away against Morocco's Omar Munchid. We saw Omar play yesterday on the live stream table, but it's a different story for him today. Craig is 10-1 up against him. And Adam Davis and Tom Cousins, 2 former world champions, are locked at 4-all. Jack Whelan is 6-3 up on Rob Warren. Greg Batten is trailing 5 frames to 2 to Jimmy Croxton. Max Nosco 5-1 up on Northern Ireland's Gary Clark. And Clint Jansen 4-3 up on Lee Clough. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of well-known names there, and there's quite a lot of well-known names in the losers section as well. But those are the current scores with the ongoing winners side matches.
Extension called.
So you hear the referee there warning Mick that he had 10 seconds left. The players have a 45-second time frame to play. Sorry, Karl. So players have 45 seconds to play their shots. At 10 seconds, they are warned. At 5 seconds, there's a countdown they'll be able to hear. And each player is permitted a 30-second time extension per frame. Nice shot from Karl. He'll be eager to get on the board after what happened in the last frame. And it goes without saying, you don't want to be passing up an advantage to Mick Hill early doors. He's relentless, as we've seen. He'll want to try and steamroller you. And you know, he's more capable of doing that to anybody. So it's so important to hold on to him. Yeah, so obviously Karl was trying to sort of just break the balls up there a little bit, and it's well, unless he's got a plant on with the yellow next to the black, he's in quite a bit of trouble. I can't see him how he can play sort of like a positive shot. Okay, so he sort of met that shot halfway, so he did play a plant, but it was a container, and he wanted to try and get the corner pocket, and he has done. And he's left the cue ball in a position where Mick can't play an aggressive option, so it's a good shot there from Karl, good recovery. Sort of took his medicine, realised that he couldn't finish the frame there, so that was clever. You can see where Mick's putting his Q-tip, trying to figure out where the safest place on the table is for him to put the white. Yeah, so he's got quite a big sort of margin for error there. I think that's gone wrong for Mick. I think Karl can hit enough of the yellow to put it in the bottom right hand pocket. I think Karl's just okay. Just looking at his body language, I think he's just able to get to the potting angle of this yellow. For a second, I thought he might have overhit it. He had to play it with a lot of check side to sort of keep the cue ball down at this end of the table. I think goes in the middle pocket, so this for Karl Donoghue to level things up at one frame all. Safely down, so Karl will be feeling good about himself that he's managed to sort of reply to Karl's opening deposit. As I say, we are on a number of platforms on sort of social media and the internet, so those platforms also have like comment boxes, chat boxes, so if there's any questions that you want to ask us or any observations you want a bit of clarification on, just send us a little message and we'll try our best to answer them for you. So as I say, this is the third event of this year's Supreme Pool Series, and it's about obviously bringing the best players in the world of English 8-ball pool together, playing for high high stakes money. As I say, £13,000 is going to go to the winner on Sunday evening, which for our sport is a huge amount. The Home Ledge Direct Grand Finals in December actually offer up a winner's pot of 51,000, which is going to be the biggest amount, the largest amount ever awarded in tournament history of our sport. So these are already big stakes now, but they're going to get even bigger come the end of the season. Good solid hit there from Karl. He's made a ball off the break, so he's got possession of the table.
Time running.
That's not worked out ideally for Karl, but there's kind of enough yellows around that yellow where he might be able to sort of open it up.
Seconds. Extension called.
Nice recovery there from Karl. Fantastic shot. Really nice shot. Now he's really does have options. I think the black goes into the bottom right hand pocket, so doesn't need to do anything in terms of sort of disturbing it at all. Yeah, he's fine. So he's got a nice angle now to. Well, perhaps he's looking on actually getting on it, so he might not even be entertaining a cannon or anything like that. So I think he can just play this with a little bit of sort of running left-hand side, and then pop the yellow into the middle right-hand pocket. Maybe a little bit harder than what he wanted, but he's on it, and I think he can just dig down it enough to keep the cue ball in the bulk end of the table. The way he was queuing up then, I just wonder whether or not he's looking at perhaps going into the yellow, but from our camera angle it looks as if he could possibly jack it up, and yeah, he is. Yeah, that's what he's done. Yeah, he could. He was able to just land on that. A little bit underdone. I mean, he would have loved to have been another half a foot, maybe a foot stronger than that. But a player of Karl's caliber, I still expect him to pot this black. But there is there's a bit of pressure attached to it. Yeah, that's a nice shot from Karl.
Karl Donoghue.
Yep, that was a nice finish. Nice finish from Karl. Just a little exhibition to Mick to show that he's not intimidated and he means business. just a quick look at the scores elsewhere in the arena next door. Chris Mellon and Jordan Church, that's another sort of fantastic matchup there. Jordan Church is actually 8-7 up, so Mellon needs to get his skates on if he wants to avoid going on to loser section. Craig Marsh and Darren Appleton, another absolute humdinger of a match. It's actually the first time Craig said to me that they've played competitively, and Craig's shading at them. He's 6-4 up on Darren. Jordan Shepherd is 4-3 up on Dave Fernandez. I actually think Jordan's going to be very dangerous this weekend. I did say at the start of the weekend, sort of Jordan and Tom Cousins for me. Mike King is just ousting it against Mark Farnsworth. He's 3-2 up. Karl Morris has got a foothold against Jake Dillon Newlove. He's now only 4-2 down. Dan McVicker has levelled it up against Sean Chipperfield, so that's 5-all. Josh Kane is 6-3 up on Ian Alley. Neil Rayburn will start. He's made his 6-0 up on Cameron Dunlop. And we'll go through a few more of the scores perhaps at the end of this frame. So a nice solid break from Mick, but fortunately he hasn't found a ball off the break, so another opportunity for Karl. So Karl's looking really good now to open a 3-1 lead. He's just got to bring this back to the business area of the table. That's all right. I thought he might have played the yellow into middle bag first and then tracked down. Either or, really. Just got to be a little bit careful. He's got to make sure that he's on that yellow over the middle bag so we can sort of bring it out to around sort of possibly the blue spot or get closer to it. So he has got options. He's just got to make sure that he doesn't leave a unfavourable angle, and that's perfect. He can play the black in either pocket here. He might just sort of like drag it with a bit of side and just sort of dribble it down the rail, as it were. I think that's probably a safer option than, trying to go into the centre part of the table. Yeah, so that's what he's done. So very impressive from Karl Donoghue here. And is this back for 3-1? Yep, nice shot. So he's looking very comfortable, isn't he, Karl? He certainly doesn't look intimidated. I don't think he's that type of person anyway, but takes a 3-1 lead against tournament favourite Mick Hill. So just sort of continue where we left off, looking at the other scores around the arena. Richard Toomey is 6-5 up on Drew Hughes. In a clash of former world champions, Adam Davis is 6-4 up on Tom Cousins. Jack Whelan, 8-3 up on Rob Warren. Jimmy Croxton, 6-4 up on Greg Batten. Max Nosgo, 5-2 up on Gary Clark. And Clint Ianson is 5-4 up on Lee Clough. So that's all the other matches going on in the arena next door. And as I say, they are all winners' matches, so They're all first to 11. Steve Southall, it's first to 11 in the winners section, so this game here is best of 21 players. On the loser section, it's first to 8, so best of 15. Darren McVicker's just taken the lead over Sean Chipperfield. He's now 6-5 up.
Time running.
That's unlucky. He hit him well enough. He really nice connection, but nothing down. So opportunity now for Mick to try and get a little bit of momentum.
Time running. Ten seconds. Extension call.
Yeah, so good chance here for Mick to get a second frame on the board. It looks a little bit sort of congested down the bottom end of the table, but I think the reds all go in a pocket, so it's more about sort of cue ball placement here instead of actually, you know, having to develop anything. You know, even the top players, if they can avoid having to play cannons and developing balls, you know, they'll try and avoid that. They're such good potters, you know. It's best to try and trust their own ability and perhaps leave a tougher pot. We've seen a lot of action already this weekend, and we've seen how sort of cannons can really go wrong. And well, you see that's a slack shot from Mick there. He's hampered over the back, and it's not straightforward at all. And also with his neck issue, you wonder how comfortable he's going to be cueing on this shot.
Seconds.
Yeah, good recovery from Mick there. Just wondering whether or not he can get the potting angle to the top red into the middle pocket. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think he might be able to just access it, but unless he's playing it, we'll soon find out. Yeah, no, he can find it, but where's the yellow going? Well, it's obviously blocked the other red, but Mick might be able to. Yeah, I think he's okay to actually play it off the yellow, which will open his other red up. So it's actually not worked out too badly. so didn't play it too hard. He didn't need to. Just wanted to maintain control of the situation. It's perhaps a little bit thinner than what he would have liked, but I think the black does just pass the yellow, but it's one of those where he's got half a pocket and it might be, well, it's a lot easier to get right behind it. Oh, it's gone wrong. It's gone very wrong, and that's possibly the only way it could have done, because I think the black went into all the both corner pockets, top corner pockets, both middle pockets. The only way was either sort of snookering himself or actually landing on top of the ball, and that's what's happened. So Mick's going to have to unleash some magic here to get this frame on the board, because all of Karl's yellows are bang in the open.
Seconds. 5, 4.
That's what's called a bash. I think that's all he had, and it could have ended up a lot worse for Mick, but you know, Karl will try and get Mick to possibly move, but I don't think Mick will be able to pot the black. Yeah, Mick I don't think Mick can pot the black there from that angle, so I'm just wondering whether Karl is going to try and extract a free hit from Mick, or simply, you know, Mick getting out of a snooker, he's going to have to move the black. So he's got a few options here, Karl, but he does still have that problem with the yellow next to the black. So yeah, so that's what he might have actually potted the yellow. So that was not intentional at all. A little bit of a laugh about that. I just wonder whether that's causing a little bit of a problem here, because no, of course not. He's fine, of course. So this is one of the areas of where the rule sets do make a big difference. In black ball, you have to make a valid attempt at hitting the ball. You can't just, like other rule sets, just roll up or play a deliberate foul. You've actually got to make a valid attempt at trying to hit the black or the ball on. And if Mick does foul, Karl will have his first visit will be basically a free shot. Well, Mick's really going to have to pull something out of the bag here.
Ten seconds. 5, 4.
Nah, I think
Mick
Mick asked for an extension, but he'd already actually used his extension in the frame, so he had to get back down again and hit it pretty quickly. But it was very his odds were slim on hitting that. He had to be so accurate. He had to make the angle as well. It wasn't natural for a start. He was trying to get into such a small window of opportunity. So Karl immediately with his free hit just opens everything up, and you know, unless something incredible happens, Mick's going to go 4-1 up here. Sorry, Karl's going to go 4-1 up here. So this wouldn't have been in the script. I guess when the balls are in the open, like they were, I guess the only way they can go wrong is like when there are 2 balls left. Sometimes people might go the wrong way, but it's no issue for Karl then. So it was an unenforced error from Mick, and that did eventually cost him the frame, and Karl's done what he's needed to do, and he takes a 4-1 advantage. So just quickly look at some of the other scores around the arena. Got Jordan Church is now on the hill against Chris Mellon, so he's 10-8 up. Darren Appleton's got it back to level pegging against Craig Marsh. That's 6-all. Jordan Shepherd is 6-4 up on Dave Fernandez. Mark Farnsworth has turned things around against Mike King. He was I think 3-1 down, but he's now 6-3 up. Carl Morris has won 3 on the spin, but he's still 4-3 down to Jake Dillon Newlove. Sean Chipfield, Darren Vicker, that had a look of being really close. That's now 7 frames all. Josh Kane, who is a former World Masters champion, he's 8-4 up on Ian Alley. Neil Raybone 7-1 up on Cameron Dunlop. Richard Toomey 9-5 up on Drew Hughes. Adam Davis is just ousting at the minute against Tom Cousins. He's 6-5 up. Jack Whelan is on the hill against Rob Warren. He's 10-4 up, so looking good to get through to the next round. Jimmy Croxton 7-4 up on Greg Batten. Max Nosko 7-3 up on Gary Clark. And Clint Ianson, Lee Clough, another game that looked like it could go all the way. That's 5 frames all. Like I say, all of those matches are from the winners section. They're all first to 11, best of 21. The losers section is first to 8, best of 15. And we will see plenty of the losers section a little bit later on today, and first thing tomorrow morning. Nice break from Mick. He's made multiple balls there. I think he's made 3 that, 2 yellow, 1 red. But unfortunately, it's not straightforward. So the first puzzle Mick has to solve is removing the red on the left-hand side next to the yellow. It looks like here he's got, I think he's got enough of an angle to disturb him. Yeah, that's nicely played. So his problem number 2, well, he's a little bit unlucky to end up like that because it looks as if he's very straight, so he might be only able to go sort of back and forward, so that could be an unexpected problem. Yeah, realised that he couldn't do anything with that, so he's just made sure that he's left the cue ball in where there's a corridor he can get through to this bottom red. But is he playing a cannon? He might be playing a cannon off the other red. Oh, he's fluked it. Wow. Yeah, a little race to the hand there. I'm not sure that's much consolation to Karl, but I think Mick was actually playing quite an adventurous shot. I think he was actually playing like a billiard off the first red, coming off that thin, sort of opening that up and then potting the other red. In the end, he actually double kissed it. So that's certainly a welcome gift for Mick and all his supporters, but he still needs to convert this. Just got to be a little bit delicate. Is that going to hold up? Yeah, I think he's okay. Yep, he's fine. So Mick takes full advantage of that fluke, and this to reduce his deficit. He's now 4-2 down to Karl.
Frame, Mick Hill. Karl or Donoghue to break, leading 4 frames to 2. Time running.
Okay, so it's Karl to break in frame number 7. He leads 4-2. Yeah, a few comments in the chat boxes saying that even the greats need a little bit of luck, and certainly Mick was he would gratefully accepted that fluke. So Karl has come up dry. He's just having an anxious look to see what he's left. Certainly not drop-ins. It's a little bit of a messy table.
Seconds. 5, 4, extension called.
So we just hear Mick asking for his extension this frame. Yeah, you can see he's not sure about this. That's a glaring error there from Mick. That's you can see that was, I think that was what he was concerned about. He was trying to dig into the cue ball to avoid that, but wow, it's still open table, and Karl has got a free visit first off, so opportunity to do some damage here.
10 seconds. 5, 4, extension called.
Just using the extension just to work out how he's going to go about this frame. So it wasn't the most straightforward of patterns. There's a couple of problems here, so he's probably going to have to play at least another one good shot in the frame to open things up. Yeah, I think he's gone for it there. You can see the amount of side he was putting on. He was trying to hit the bulk cushion and then clatter into the yellow and red on the right-hand side cushion. Unfortunately for him, he ended up clattering into the yellow instead. Yellow in open play. He's unlucky there. It's a good pot, but it's unlucky not to have developed the his tricky red. So quite a lot of work to be done here for Karl if he's going to win the frame.
10 seconds.
Referee called 10 seconds, and Karl has already used his extension, so to get his skates on there. In the end, he's just sort of played a bit of a containing shot, but he has removed one of his tricky reds. Couldn't really do anything too aggressive there, Mick, so just containing it really. Well, Mick's got a good cue ball. Fortunately for him, he's pushed he's pushed one yellow on side cushion, although that's not going to be a problem for Mick Hill, but he's put 2 other yellows on the other side cushion. However, saying that, he might actually be able to, if he did have the opportunity later on the frame, he could pot it and bring the other one open as well, so. So Karl just taking the opportunity to free the black up there. Unfortunately for him, he has actually pushed his yellow into 3 of Mick's yellow. So the good thing for Karl, there are a couple of reds in close proximity to that tricky red, so he might have options a little bit later on in the frame. Yeah, couldn't do much there, Karl, so just making sure he didn't do anything too elaborate. Pass up any opportunity to Mick. Having said that, he might be able to hit enough of this yellow to pot it in the middle pocket. So I just wonder if one of those 3 yellows there Mick can pot, or looks as if he might be able to open them. No. Okay, So actually Mick has sort of opened up an opportunity here to perhaps win the frame from this visit. He's managed to dispatch these 3 yellows at the bottom end of the table. And as I said earlier, I'm not quite sure if he can get to the angle of that yellow. If he can, obviously he's going to be bringing out the other yellow as well, and he could. So from looking a fairly sort of messy table, Mick has sort of serenely gone around his own way, and he's I was about to say he's looking good to win his 2nd frame in a row, although he's underhit that slightly. But again, you'd expect Mick Hill to sort that little problem out, and he has, and he's absolutely perfect on the black. So that'll do Mick's competence a world of good, and just remind Karl that Mick Hill is his opponent and he's in the building. So yeah, fantastic visit from Mick Hill there. Reduces his arrears to 4-3. So we're just going to quickly look at scores around the arena next door. Darren Appleton is now 8-7 up on Craig Marsh. Jordan Shepherd 8-5 up on Dave Fernandez. Mark Farnsworth, I think he's won 7 in a row against Mike King. He's now 8-3 up. Karl Morris has won, I think he's won 4 in a row. He's now only 5-4 down to Jake Dillon Newlove. Josh Kane 9-6 up on Ian Alley. Neil Rayburn 8-1 up on Cameron Dunlop. Richard Toomey is on the hill against Drew Hughes, 10-6 up. Adam Davis 7-6 up against Tom Cousins. Jimmy Croxton 9-6 up on Greg Batten. Max Nosgo's got an advantage over Gary Clark. He leads 9-4. And Clint Iance and Lee Clough are still locked up at 5 frames all. In terms of completed games from the winners section, Jordan Church did get the better of Chris Mell in the end, and he won 11-8, so he moves through to the winners qualifying round. So if Jordan was to win his next match, he would qualify for the last 16 knockout section. Sean Chipperfield defeated Darren McVicker 11-8, and Craig Lakin didn't spend much time putting away Morocco's Omar Munshid. He beat him 11-2. And the other person through to the winners qualifying round is Jack Whelan, who had a fairly convincing 11-4 victory over Rob Warren. So like I say, we'll keep you up to date with the other scores. If you want to keep tabs on the scores yourself, head over to Q Score, or at the bottom of the screen underneath our scorecard, we have the link, the address to access Q Score. So whilst I've been sort of waffling on about the scores, Mick has Mick's at the table, and well, look at these, a great opportunity to draw a level at 4 all. Yeah, that's fine. So he's, you can see, just pop this yellow into the bottom right hand pocket, take the yellow along the bottom cushion. Perhaps he might try and find the gap then. No, he's going to screw back, so ignore what I said. Yeah, it's a better way, isn't it? This way he's taken away any sort of elements of danger or snookering himself. So he's going to leave the yellow on the bottom cushion until last, and then play the black into a middle pocket. Yeah, you see a nice little angle, just making it easy for himself just to play it playing ball. Doesn't need to play at any particular pace or any side. Simple as that. So this black for 3 in a row for Mick Hill, and to draw level at 4 all against Karl Donoghue. Yeah, no drama there for the People's Champion. 4 frames all.
Karl or Donoghue to break. 4 frames all. Time running.
Okay, so Karl will be keen to stop the rot a little bit and get a good break here and hopefully convert. Let's have a look, see what's going to happen. Yep, so he's made a ball. He's connected them well.
Time running.
So for sure he's going to be going reds here. And obviously there's a little bit of trouble for him at the bottom end of the table. But again, like I said, if there's balls near your problem balls, you've got an opportunities and there'll be ideas for you to open that tricky balls up. So I don't think it's too bad, especially for someone of Karl's ability. He might even actually, yeah, he might be able to play a plant. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do here. The plant, simple enough. Just taking a little bit of time, just working out where the first red is going to go after playing the plant. Yeah, that's not unless he's pushed them onto a plant. Yeah, that's no good for Karl, really. I'm not too sure if he, what sort of shot he can play because all of Mick's yellows are in pretty good positions.
Extension call.
Just taking a little bit more thinking time to try and work something out. But when you've got Mick Hill as your opponent, you better think of something very, very good. Yeah, I kind of realised that he really couldn't play anything too extravagant there. Just open his reds up just in case he does come back to the table. I think Mick's all right here. I think he's obviously going to put the yellow in the bottom right hand pocket, sorry, bottom left hand pocket. Just follow through, I think, and then play the. Oh no, he's going to go up the table first of all. Okay, I thought for a second he was going to be playing on the get the yellows at the bottom end of the table away first, but wanted to dish up the balls in the bulk area. Okay, so that obviously means that the yellow passes the red into the bottom left-hand pocket. Good shot. I think he's just got enough angle so he can sort of like bang the cue ball out to the centre of the table. Yeah, you know, ideally would have liked a little bit more, to come across a little bit more to avoid him being hampered, but I don't think it'll be an issue for Mick. Yeah, no, that's the centre of the pocket. Okay, so Mick takes the advantage for the first time since the opening frame, so he's now 5-4 up.
Frame, Mick Hill.
We just heard Karl's just off for a quick toilet break. We'll resume the commentary when he returns.
Mick Hill to break, leading 5 frames to 4. Time running.
Okay, so Karl's back, and it's Mick's breaking frame 10. Nice break from Mick. He's put multiple balls there, and at first glance, I think he's got a great chance to open a 2-frame lead.
Time running.
So the rack's being removed, and as we can see there, I think all the reds go in certain pockets. So Mick's just got to mind his work here, and he could be 6-4 up in no time. Something's bothering Mick a little bit here. He just wants to make sure he gets from one area to another. So he's looking at getting the ball sort of around the bulk line, maybe that sort of general area, so he can drop the centre of the reds into the middle pocket. Well, if that's what he did try, he's massively underhit that, but it goes into the corner as well, so that's not a problem. Oh, he's just sat on it. Wow. You could see... he used the yellow to obviously kill the speed. You know, you can hear Mick's you know, to go behind the black is incredible. Really, you can actually see that the as the cue ball was, you know, as it was stopping, you could see it just turning slightly, which you can obviously get on a napped cloth. That is real sort of cruel luck on Mick there.
10 seconds. Extension called.
Yeah, frustrated here. Just wondering whether... Just wonder if he's looking red. The left red, I wonder if he's looking to hit that full ball and trying to... Yeah, no, that's no good. And Karl jumps about the seat. I mean, sure, this is an opportunity he wasn't expecting.
10 seconds.
So just dropping the yellow down into over the pocket. I think the yellow's far away from the middle pocket on the right hand side, that he can just drop that in. Just taking a little bit of time just to work out how he's going to go about these.
Seconds. Extension called.
Yeah, I think that's okay. You can just drop the yellow into the middle bag, I think. Just looking at where he wants the cue ball afterwards, he might be able to get in between the gap of the two reds. There's like a corridor there for him to the part of the yellow that he can... Yeah, that's fine. A little bit of action on the cue ball, and if that just slows up, yeah, that's perfect. Terrific shot there from Karl, and he'll be feeling a lot better if he gets his frame on the board, because Mick has won the last four, and it will be off a, you know, it was unlucky for Mick, really, to be fair. I mean, he was canning into a ball, he played it controlled, but for it to sort of at the last second turn behind the black was a bit cruel. managed to get the cue ball out, so a simple black, and it's we're back level at 5 frames all. Yep, no issues with that. Karl Donoghue levels things up, and now we essentially have a best of 11 to get into the winners' qualification round. Just have a quick look at the score lines elsewhere, the games that are currently in action in the other arena. Craig Marsh has turned things around against Darren Appleton. He's now 10 frames to 8 up, so he needs one more frame to go through. Jordan Shepherd, same scoreline, he's 10-8 up on Dave Fernandez. Mark Farnsworth's really worked out ahead of steam. He's now 10-3 up on Mike King after being 3-1 down. Jake Dillon-Newlove has won the last 3 frames. He's now 8-4 up on Carl Morris. Neil Raybone is edging his way to victory. He's 9-2 up on Cameron Dunlop. Adam Davis is 9-7 up on Tom Cousins. That was another one. There was another showcase match there. Whilst Lee Clough has managed to sort of eke out a 7-5 lead against Clint Jansen on table number 14. Like I say, if you have any comments or any questions, by all means, let us contact us in the chat boxes, either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We are on Twitter for this event. If you would like to follow Players Pool event Twitter account, it's the handle is @socialppe. And we're also using the hashtag Supreme Pool Series, so if you are on Twitter and if you share things from our account, we'd really appreciate if you use the hashtag as well. I want to try and raise as much coverage as we can for our sport.
Seconds.
Yeah, so Karl's worked these out well. I play the yellow into the top left-hand pocket, just come back, and it's as simple as you'd like. So he's going to retake the lead here, and after Mick winning 4 in a trot, Karl's managed to string a couple of racks together himself, so showing good sort of character to sort of get back up again, and he's now in front, 5 away from going through to the winners' qualification round.
Mick held to break, trailing 5 frames to 6. Time running.
Solid strike there from Mick. He's made a ball, but looking at that angle, I'm not sure what he's on initially.
Time running.
It's an anxious moment there for Mick. He certainly used all of the pocket there. Yeah, that's a nice shot. Just coming down to the red at the bottom of the table. I think she's going to run through, just come on and off the cushion, and then play the red in between the 2 yellows into the middle pocket. Bring that slightly forward to play the other red in the opposite middle pocket, and then he's simple for the black. So he's just got to be a little bit precise with these. Wow, he tried to do a bit more than that. I'm a little bit surprised by that shot selection. I've got to admit, but wow, I'm sure Karl didn't expect to be coming back to the table in this frame, but he is. So he's got to get these are sort of frames that could really hurt Mick. Wow, he thought he could get through the gap there, but he couldn't, and he might have just passed the advantage straight back to Mick. Yeah, that's fine. I think Mick might have even been trying to pot 2 reds in one shot there, but that's not a problem. Is he going to candy it? Oh, he's just okay. There was an anxious moment there for Mick. If he cannoned that black any thicker, he would have been in trouble. But as it is, he managed to get past it, and there was an enforced error there from Mick in the middle of the frame, but he wasn't punished for it. In fact, he returned straight away. And it's back to 6 frames all.
Unless you're on Mick brushing our table down. If play it slow, it's up to you two. Brush tape, do you want to brush it down the table down? Oh, Sometimes slows down in the second half of the game, that's all. Karl, Donoghue to break, 6 frames all. Time running.
Okay, it's now effectively a best of 9, where the winner's going to go through to the winner's qualification round. I don't know if you. Oh, it's gone straight enough there. I don't know if you picked up on the stream, but the referee actually asked the players if they wanted the table brushed and ironed, because I think the players are finding the table a little bit slower. We are in the second part of the match though, so naturally the cloth will, you can see there's a few sort of chalk marks on it, so naturally the cloth and conditions will slow down a little bit, but the players decided not to have the table sort of brushed and ironed, so.
10 seconds.
Does that yellow pass the red? That's the crucial thing we need to know. I think it does. Mick's body language looked pretty positive. If it does, it means that all the yellows go somewhere. So with that free visit, he's managed to manufacture an opportunity to win the frame in one go. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that yellow does pass the red into the bottom right-hand pocket. Shot just nudged into the yellow. And you see these players when they do have to go into balls, you know, quite a lot of the time they are reluctant to go into balls, but when they do, you know, the odds are stacked in their favour, and they're playing like a controlled cannon. They're not playing anything reckless. And it's very rare you'll see them play like a cannon at, you know, full speed. It will be just a little nudge just to open things up. Oh yeah, lovely. You see it just ping there. Playing with a lot of side there, just to make the angle. Just got to make sure he doesn't clip the red. Yep, just manages to avoid that, and very efficiently, very serenely, Mick is cleared up there, and now he's taken the lead once again. He's now 7-6 in front in this race to 11 at the 2018 Supreme Masters, which is the middle event of this year's Supreme Pool Series. So just very quickly go through, there are 3 other matches in progress at the minute in the opposite room arena. Jake Dylan-Newlove is now 9-5 up on Karl Morris. All these are races to 11, by the way. Neil Rayburn 9-3 up on Cameron Dunlop, and Lee Clough is 7-6 up on Clint Ianson. Go and have a look at the completed games. Jordan Shepherd managed to get over the line against Dave Fernandez. Craig Marsh defeated Darren Appleton, both 11-8. Jordan Church beat Chris Mann in 11-8. Mark Farnsworth beat Mike King 11-3 in the end. I think Mark won 10 frames in a row. I think he was 3-1 down. So we've only got another 4 games, and that's this round of the winners section complete. That's a good shot from Mick there. Nice controlled, and all of a sudden he's starting to turn the screw, isn't he? He's starting to look good. Yep, struck that well. Okay, so this black to open up a 2-frame advantage for Mick Hill. Go 8-6 up. Safely there.
Frame, Mick Hill. Donoghue to break, trailing 6 frames to 8. Time running.
Okay, so we're back. 8 frames to 6 to Mick. Karl Donoghue breaks. Wow, that's a bit of aggression on that break there. He's split them really well. Although, again, a few balls are sort of congregated towards the bolt cushion, tied a few things up. Yep, so that's alright. Could just get to the potting angle of the red. So far from easy, this finish here. Just wondering if he was contemplating playing the red down to the bottom right hand pocket, but he's decided to stay up the table. Looks as if he's going to size himself up for the double on this red. No, that's, I think that's the second double he's actually missed in this match. It was a bit of a tall ask to clear it from there, but I've expected him to get the double.
Extension call.
Good shot there. Lovely shot with the red inside there, coming off a couple of cushions. And again, all the yellows go somewhere. And that, that's quite often the case when we look at English 8-ball, whatever rule set you're playing. It's such a precise game. We're playing in such small margins, whereas other cue sports perhaps you're playing in more sort of general areas. Whereas English 8-ball, you do tend to have to be a lot more accurate. We're playing on a smaller playing surface for a start. It's like I guess it's a bit like landing an airplane on a short runway. That's one way I can sort of illustrate it as. Yeah, so he hasn't come through far enough ideally, but I think he might have been a bit sort of dramatic with that, though. I can't see this being too much of an issue, and it isn't. So Mick is going to go 9-6 up, and he's going to be just 2 frames away from the match win. Put himself into the winners qualifying match.
Mick Hill to break, leading 9 frames to 6. Time running.
See, Mick just raised his hand in apology there. He, I think the ball that made, I think the ball that found gravity got bumped a couple of times, and well, certainly got bumped once and found the pocket. And actually, the yellows here aren't too bad, are they? I mean, obviously he's got a little bit of work at the bottom end of the table, but he's got other balls he can perhaps crash into, used to crash into them. Oh, he's got that's ended up really nice for Mick because he's got perfect. He can just bump the yellow out. Probably got to be a little bit careful that he doesn't tie up the other yellow, but that's worked out pretty nicely for Mick. Yeah, look at that. And again, that's what I was talking about before, about when they do have to play a cannon or open something up, they play it with a controlled speed. And you saw Mick playing with quite a lot of side there. That again, that's deliberate. He's not just going in sort of gun ho and hoping for the best. It's you know, these are judgments that he's through years and years of experience and playing. Okay, so we're here again, and Mick has taken his chance with both hands, and now all of a sudden he's on the hill. So it's gone from 6-all to 10-6 up, and it looks as if Mick was going to book a spot in the final qualification round of the winner's side.
Karl Donoghue to break, trailing 6 frames to 10. Time running.
Okay, so it is the point of no return for Karl. If he's going to beat Mick Hill here, he's going to have to win 5 frames on the trot. But only take things 1 frame at a time. Oh, that's a little bit cruel, really. I mean, he's hit them really well. couple of balls really sort of flirted with pockets, but unfortunately for him, nothing found gravity.
Time running.
Mick's just assessing the lay of the land, just to see if got the opportunity to perhaps finish things off here and now. Just looking at the red underneath the black, whether or not there's whether there's a gap for him to pot that if he's got access to the potting angle.
10 seconds. Extension called.
So you see Mick's just taking his extension here, just I've seen it quite a few times. He uses his extension on his first visit just to take stock of the table and just work out a plan moving forward. So he's having to reroute here. And you know, that shows how professional Mick is. He's he's 4 frames up. He's 1 away from victory, but he still plays the right shot at the right time. He's not taking any liberties with his opponent or the game.
Seconds. 5, 4, extension called.
So Karl just taking an opportunity to try and tie one of Mick's reds up there.
Seconds. You've used it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, he just couldn't get into it perfectly, but it's not too bad. So if he can somehow either get on or move the yellow that he's putting his tip to there, he's got a chance of taking this frame. Managed to get it out, and I think one of these three yellows will go into the centre pocket, so that's a good shot from Karl. Yeah, nice shot there to take it off the red. Yeah, I was about to say he's probably going to be looking at this yellow at the table. No, that's it's not a bad miss, but I would have Karl would have expected himself to pot that. See Chris Melling and Darren Appleton there watching on. They're both still in the event, although both lost their last matches in the winners section. Chris Melling lost to Jordan Church 11-8, and Darren Appleton lost to Craig Marsh by the same scoreline. But it does mean that they are still both in the event. It just means they have to go a little bit further around on the losers section. I think they'll be playing the 8:15 session, so they are still in with a chance. You can see Mick there, he was trying to nudge into the yellow, so he would have played the red into the centre left-hand pocket.
Seconds. 5, 4.
Okay, so we've still got this problem of this red next to the black, and he's running out of balls, and he's running out of options here. So I think the red does pass the black to go into the middle pocket, but it's getting down into that area that's proving a bit tricky. So he's gone for a big one here, and it's a nice idea, but he's ended up snookering himself on both balls. So he's looking, coming off the side cushion, coming up in behind the red and trying to pot it to the right-hand pocket. Right-hand middle pocket, I should say.
10 seconds.
So then, Karl of Donoghue, opportunity to take another frame off Mick Hill. He's done that a lot more than what he wanted to. It was a little bit careless from Karl, really. Nice recovery shot there. I realised that it was probably too thin to cut back into the middle pocket, which was what his original plan was. Yeah, so nicely done in the end by Karl. He keeps the game alive.
Mick held to break, leading 10 frames to 7. Time running.
Nice break from Mick there. Fortunately, there's a bit of a cluster of balls in the middle part of the table. So it's not going to be an easy finish to the winning line.
Time running. Ten seconds. Extension called.
So it's one of those fairly rare occasions where potted a ball but decided not to actually go for a pot after the break. So currently it's still open table. Basically saying to Karl, well, I'll let you decide first what colour set you want to be.
Seconds. 5, 4, extension called.
So there we see one of our tabs that's hooked up to Q score. So all 16 tables in action this weekend each have a tab which the players update in between in between frames, and that's all linked to the Q-Score website. If you do want to have a look at the all this weekend's results, or the actual the live scores of the matches going on as we speak now, head over to Q-Score to find all the information you need. The address is also there. It is. It's on the screen now as I speak. The address at the bottom of the screen underneath our scoreboard. Ooh, it's it's just popped back out and said hello. So then, is this mix opportunity now? Has he managed to get on that yellow? I think he's good. Yep, I think that's a good shot. Yeah, he's on it. He can hit enough of the yellow. And it looks like it could be curtains for Karl in regards to this match. But like I say, if he does end up losing, he will go on to the losers section, so it won't completely be game over for him. Yeah, that's a nice shot there from Mick. Lovely. So it looks as if he is going to get over the line. 11 frames to 7 here. Just making sure, just looking at the area where he can go in for the black. As we see the crowd is, we see this on the Saturday evening. Crowd starting to build up. Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily vintage Mick Hill, but I feel he did sort of go up a gear sort of in the middle of the match. And the tournament favourite is through to the winners' qualification round. He's an 11-7 victor against Ireland's Karl Donoghue. As I say, Karl isn't eliminated from the competition. He moves over to the losers section, where I think he plays later on this evening. But for Mick, he just needs one more win to book his place into the last 16, where the competition is reset, and that's the single elimination portion of the event. I think we're going to have an interview with Mick. Lee Kendall's going to catch up with him in the interview room. So if you want to stay with us in a few minutes' time, we'll get you to that. The next action, it will, if you give us sort of like 10-15 minutes to get the table ready and the streams all set up, I believe the next match is a losers round match between, it's an all-Welsh affair between Oli Bale and Cole Bedford. That match will be first to 8, so best to 15. So, like I said, we're going to have a quick interview with Mick now, but the next live action will be in around sort of like 10-15 minutes time between Oli Bale and Cole Bedford. Thanks for tuning in.
We're joined by the two Michaels. The first one is the victor, and the second one is the main man commentating. What did you think, Mick, of your match? It was 11-7 on the scoreline. Struggled at the start, do you?
Yeah, it was obviously, you know, without keep going over old ground, it's no big secret now. Obviously, I'm slightly hampered with my neck. I woke up this morning, I was really stiff. I didn't really sleep that good, and I know Karl's a good player, and he's one of the most improved players on the circuit, I think. I remember when they were talking about Karl, like say 2 or 3, 4 years ago, and there was talk of like big money matches with the likes of your Ronans and Mark and people like that. And at the time, I really felt like, well, this doesn't seem like a fair matchup, you know, from somebody, you know, like kind of looking at it. But over the last sort of 3 years or so, he's really put himself in the mix where, you know, he's played those really good money players for money and whatever, and he's held his own, or, you know, I don't know exactly how all the matches have gone, but I know like he's been more than capable of sort of winning, and I think like he's put himself in that position over the last 3 years. So, you know, you look at the draw. I'm always one for looking at the draw. I've always been the same, and I was saying to Lee at the last tournament, I like to look at the draw, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to play that person. I think I'm going to play that person. And sometimes when you get your cue and you haven't seen the result, and the other person rocks up, you're almost a bit like, oh, aye, you know, kind of thing. So I am a draw looker. I do like to look at the draw. I do like to assess it. And I'd seen Karl was there, and Dunster, and Liam. I think it was 11-10 his first match. And then Karl was really strong against Matt Schofield last night, who just beat Liam. So I knew it was going to be a tough match. But yeah, I kind of, you know, you just sort of play the balls, don't you, when you get to this stage, and if they go your way, knock them in, and if you don't, then you don't deserve to win.
I think, like you said, he's probably the new kid on the block at the moment with the money matches he's playing, and, you know, people are starting to fear him a little bit. Do you feel a little bit edgy going into the match?
I think there's two ways. There's two ways of looking at it. I didn't today, and I didn't yesterday, because I don't really feel like I've got the expectation on me here this weekend that I normally have due to the circumstances. So I don't really feel like I'm playing with any kind of nerves or pressure at all, because when it's time to start the car, it's time to start the car, because everything's just a bonus. Because I wasn't, you know, as we said yesterday, you know, it was 50-50 whether I was even going to make it. So this now just feels a bit like kind of just keep going. If I can get through the next match at 10 and then try and regroup tomorrow and have a one big push, and then of course when it gets a little bit closer to seeing the winning line, that adrenaline kicks in, and all these different things. But yeah, I mean, you look at it, if you look at the draw these days, and you've got the likes of Liam Dunster and you've got the likes of Karl Donoghue in your section, granted the tour's really strong, I get that, but those two at this moment in time would be one, you know, the stronger players. So you look and you're thinking, yeah, and you know, kind of, you sort of, from my perspective, and I was speaking to Darren Appleton about it as well, we do feel a little bit like we're free rolling a little bit. I know Darren feels like he's free rolling a little bit because he hasn't got the expectation not playing. I haven't got the expectation this weekend I'd normally have because of, you know, the situation. So it's one of those weekends for me where even though I'm struggling a little bit physically, I'm actually enjoying it because I've got no pressure on me at all. And, you know, a lot of the time, you know, truth be told, I do come to these tournaments and you do feel like you're under a magnifying glass, whether that be your behaviour, whether it be what you say, whether it be, you know, your performance. Or whether it be your performance. So it's actually nice this weekend coming to a big tournament with good prize money, but actually playing with complete, you know, being relaxed, and that's something that I don't get a lot, to be honest.
I think that might heat up a little bit when it gets close to the money stages, or when you're in the quarterfinals, semi-finals. You know, there's a lot of money up for grabs this weekend.
Well, I think I don't know really, because I remember we was in France once, and I think you ended up winning the tournament. I think you beat Craig Reynolds in the final. And I remember we were talking about it in the bar, and your draw was something like me, Chris, Keith or somebody else, etc., etc., etc. And I feel like sometimes, you know, you talk about getting to the back end, but in another sense, you're in the tournament then. You're in it, at least. Like, I mean, at this stage, the way the format is, and it's no criticism of the format at all, but the way the format is as it is, you could literally win 4 or 5 matches and actually not receive anything, particularly if you're in the loser's side. Mm-hmm. I feel like the tournament sort of starts to begin where I do agree with you, where you're on something and then you're trying to build upon it, because then you feel like you're in it then.
Yeah.
At the moment, it feels like, well, there's no point even thinking about winning the event or thinking about anything other than just win the next match, because it seems so far away.
Qualifying like at the Grand Prix, I mean, where you're getting in pole position.
Yeah, like qualifying.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. You're almost like, well, but the other interesting thing as well with it being double elimination, particularly I'm glad that you changed the rule again, which I think is a really good move on the series part, is I do think it should be the winners drawn against the losers, because you shouldn't be penalised from coming through the winner's side and then copping a winner. Granted, even though you might have a field here where the 8 losers are stronger than the 8 winners, you wouldn't get that if it was a seeded draw moving forward. But where you've obviously got the random draw, literally here, when you got the likes of Boyle and Phil and Gillespie and Dunton, all them lot, Daz now, Mellin now in the other half, you might actually get to last 16 and go, Lee, change the rules back again. I want a chance of actually drawing one of these random people as well. Yeah. So that is, but I think it's right. I think it's right that you should draw the loser side. But yeah, I mean, like, it's so. I was actually saying to Ryan, my mate's man, Ryan Bodsmith, who comes down to watch me quite a lot, and we were talking about it. One of the things I do like about the event, I'm not a big pool watcher. And when I went back to my room yesterday after my match, I am on Q Score and I am looking at the results. And I'm not a gambler. I've had a 10 quid accumulator. I've probably not had a bet for 3 or 4 years, but just for a little bit of fun. And I'm right. How's it getting on? What's the score? And you kind of, and it's good. It's not only for the people watching, but I have had I don't watch pool. No. You know, Darren messaged me this morning. Darren likes the flutters, you know, and he messaged me this morning. He said, who do you like? So-and-so, do you like so-and-so? I'm thinking, I said, mate, I ain't got a clue. I never watch pool, and I don't play the one-day tournaments anymore, so I don't see anybody. I don't particularly play the regional tours. So you come here, and I'm going off here, say, like everybody else. Oh, so-and-so's winning the IPA tours, or so-and-so's winning the UK tours, or so-and-so. And I'm a bit like, well, yeah, just follow that then. Yeah. But it's quite nice to kind of come here, and like, there always seems to be a match. You know, like I'm playing Brian Alcrow in the last, 10,052, whatever it was last night.
Been asking that many, isn't
it? Yeah, you know, and like, but it's good because you feel like, oh well, yeah, Brian's a good player. Yeah. You know, this is, and then you look over, and Melling's playing somebody, and then you look over, and Appleton was 10 each with Liam White, local lad from here last night. So everybody's like round watching that and everything, and it's kind of like it's you know.
It was a great atmosphere last night, wasn't it? There was a few games.
Well, particularly like I think it's great for the 8 o'clock session players. Yeah. Because you get through, here's a bar, get yourself a beer or get yourself a soft drink, whatever your bag is, or go back to your room and get changed, and you come back, and then you can chill out and watch the half-10 matches. And if you want to have a bet, Jed's obviously here. If you want to, if you've picked out a particular player in the Calcutta or something, and I think that's really kind of refreshing for not only the players, the spectators as well, because you go to these, with all due respect, and not to be rude to other events, but sometimes you go and you think, this is a bit flat. Well, I've played my game, I'm not really interested in what anybody else is doing, etc. So, no, don't get me wrong, I ain't necessarily going to be sat in there watching the final on Sunday night, because I'm a player, I'm
you want to be in the arena.
If I'm not in the arena,
you want to be.
I'm not watching somebody else lift the trophy, you know what I mean? That's not really where I'm at, but what I will say is that, like even sort of now, the losers side's on, and there's some great. I mean, Ronan McCarthy's just played for Larrison in the losers side.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It is.
And everybody's sort of, but because he's 2 big players, maybe they've had a bet, you can watch it, and it's great. And just to what me and Lee was talking about yesterday, I just really hope that everybody can not be too short-sighted, not be too narrow-minded, understand the progress of it, And who's to say we're not sat here 4 or 5 years' time and we've got something really big on our hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have an event, as you said, you go to a lot of pool tournaments. I play on a different tour, and you play your match, you go back to your room, you put the television on, and you don't even check the scores. To be honest, it's quite boring in a sense, but here, like you say, there's an event.
Yeah.
And how we do the streaming, how everything's done, you want to tune in, you want to listen to Mick, you want to listen to Mallins and Appletons and Hibberts and all the rest of them. And that's what we strive to do.
Yeah.
Well, I think leading on from that, and I know, like, you know, that people talk about hotel events and stuff, and I've never been a great lover of hotel events, other than the fact it is convenient to just get in the lift and get to your room. Don't get me wrong. I'm not staying too far away. Limedale Suites, great, by the way. Anybody wants to stay there, give them a shout, because it's great. And it's just up the road, and it's great, and it's really comfortable, perfect. You know, few minutes drive, and that's okay. I mean, the comfort of the hotel events is the fact that you get in the lift and go to your room. The problem with that, you never see anybody.
No.
So you go to a tournament. I'm not saying that you're supposed to, or that's a good thing or a bad thing, by the way, but sometimes you sort of like, you might go to a tournament and you might go, oh, I didn't even realise that person was there this weekend. I've not even seen him.
But what you have is people coming to spectate and watch. So now you're in the room, so you're forced to speak to people. Not that you don't want to speak to them, but now it becomes an occasion for both of them, because then you get the buzz of them talking to you and how you doing, Mick? Nice to see you, and vice versa. You feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always look. I mean, we'd all love to be playing on the TV with a one table setup like we've just had there, and we'd love all the matches to be like that. I mean, the beauty of snooker is, you know, when the big tournaments, obviously there's just 1 or 2 tables, you know, sometimes there's some other, in other tournament. The beauty of darts is you get to the stage, don't you, you get the board, you know, so you haven't got that variable. We have got that slight variable with this. But at least here, if Lisa's on table number 7, and it happens to be out the way a little bit, at least there's something going on. Now, I've played on the tours and such, and not to discredit the tours, because it is what it is, because it's an hotel. Now, if you're playing at 9 o'clock in the morning and you're on table 12 up the corner, you're susceptible to get beat by anybody, because there's nothing on it. Now, Karl Donoghue is a very good player. Now, that, in all, and with respect to Karl, because he's played the big money matches and he's held himself together, so he's maybe not a great example. But what I'm saying is, if you play in the match arena and you're an elite player, that is not only gets you up for the game, it makes the other person nervous who's not quite used to it, and the whole complexity of the match changes. You become a bigger favourite. Yeah. It's like tennis, you know, Federer's on centre court against whoever, he's not on court 18.
Like Roddy in snooker.
Yeah, he's always on the match table.
Yeah.
Because that, you know, that changes things. Phil Taylor was never out the back, he was on the stage.
Yes.
And that changes the whole complexity of the tournament. Now, with a pool club, you haven't always got that luxury, but particularly here, most tables that you're going to play on, particularly where you've got the bar and you've got the glass, somebody's watching.
Yeah.
Now, as a pool player, so that you're not flat as a pancake, you don't need hundreds of people. It might only be 5, but if it happens to be 5 people that happen to be really, really good players as well, you want to perform in front of those players. You know, when Liam's missed his ball last night at 10-all against Darren's made a plant which was like awesome.
Terrific.
I mean, it was awesome, you know, but we all know how great he's under the cosh anyway.
Well, we were all talking to the ball, and I think everybody chose a different shot, what he was going to play.
Yeah, we were looking, does he play his safety? And he's played a plant. And, you know, that's Darren for you. Obviously, it's 10 inch. He's known for it in the pool, how great he's under pressure. But then he's run his balls out, and even for somebody like Darren that's played in Moscone Cups, World 9-ball Championships, when he's running his balls out there, at this event, he's getting a buzz from that, don't worry about that, especially making that ball.
Yeah.
Now, if he's just playing, let's say, in an hotel event, he ain't really going to get that same. He ain't really going to get that same buzz. So, I mean, yeah, great. Moving forward, wouldn't it be amazing if we could have 3 or 4 arenas? Of course, but we understand, you know, how things have to progress. But yeah, I just think I think the tour's great, and considering that, you know, I was, as you know, Lee, 50-50 whether I was going to play or not, due to other commitments, etc. You know, I'm actually now glad that I've played on it, and I'm glad I've made the effort to come this weekend because I'm still going.
Well, we're all very glad, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're
for
all,
the sport, we need the top players in. I mean, the likes of Jason Shaw travelling from America, it's massive. I mean, for next year, I've moved the last event a week forward, just in case the likes of yourself or whoever would get in the Moscone Cup. We don't want to clash with any events, and if we can get them players in and playing, that's what we will do.
Yeah.
We just need you to add a few more to the series, Lee. If we can just have 7 or 8 events, and I think that'll be good.
If somebody like yourself helps to promote it like you're doing now, then we can get more players and more money for everybody, and that's what we're trying to do, and put a proper event on for you. Okay, I think we've spoke to everybody enough at the moment. The next match is going to be Ollie Bale against Karl Bedford. That'll be a good one, and that'll be about 10 minutes time, so please tune in for that.